way back in 2007, Portal gave us one of the most iconic video game songs of all time, and it was so good that they turned around and did it again in 2011. What is it about these two songs that makes them so epic, and how did the brilliant composer of both of them, Jonathan Coulton, use minor thirds in two different ways that were both perfect for the games they accompanied? Let's check it out.
This was a triumph. I'm making a note here, huge success. It's hard to overstate my satisfaction.
Okay, so of course the first that we are talking about is the song Still Alive from the first Portal game. This song is super interesting for a number of reasons. I mean, first of all, it's beautiful. It's such a nice song. And you guys know I don't really talk about lyrics that much, but it's hard to not talk about the lyrics for this because that's kind of the whole point of this song. It's the thing that we find out about at the end that makes us go, oh no.
Oh no.
Before we go any further, I know it's been 17 years since this game came out, but spoilers ahead. First, we gotta go all the way back to the beginning because this song is actually the very first thing we hear in the game. It's playing in the background of the scene where you wake up, and it's a different version. It's been converted into kind of like a elevator music version. It's very much like just background noise, which is fascinating because we hear this at various points throughout the game. So this is going to be extremely important throughout the rest of the game because all the while we're solving these puzzles, and at first it just, it seems like, okay, I understand we're gonna use this crazy technology of this portal thing to solve these puzzles with all these really interesting mechanics. And the game is utterly fascinating. But it doesn't take us very long to start kind of feeling like this place just feels off.
When you die, I'm going to laminate your skeleton and pose you in the lobby.
And I think this version of the song really helps to kind of embed that in our minds because it's like, all right, enough with the elevator music. Like it feels out of place. Something doesn't feel right about this. But yet the elevator music is there just trying to be like, hey, everything's fine. Don't pay any attention.
Waddle over to the elevator and we'll continue the testing.
You're fine. Don't worry about it. You're just after the cake.
Aperture science. We do what we must because we can. For the good of all of us, except the ones who are dead.
Okay, so this is already distressing because at this point you've just beaten the game, which means you just dismantled Gladys, this super artificial intelligence that's running this entire thing, and bit by bit you put her in an incinerator.
You are a horrible person.
So, already, this was a triumph. I'm making a note here, huge success. Excuse me?
Surprise.
So far this song harmonically sounds very simple until here.
But there's no sense crying
Oh!
over every mistake. You just keep
Where did what?
trying till you
Okay,
know
this is so great. This is so great. Okay, because the beauty about this song is its harmonic simplicity, but its use of simple yet effective musical devices to create an incredible amount of interest to our ears. And here we've done that with so little. It's just great. We just have this, is it a mandolin or a ukulele? I think it's a ukulele, right? Playing this. Oh, it's so beautiful, right? And then we get a little bit of a chord change where we go. What we're really doing is like a 2-5-1, more or less. We're playing like an E minor to an A, which is the 5 chord, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 of our D major home bass, right? So we go. Beautiful. Right, so far we just have this really beautiful, simple harmony. But then we take it to a new place. Check this out.
For the good of all of us, except the ones who are dead.
I love the juxtaposition of the harmony there and the line, except the ones who are dead. Just so matter of fact. It's hilarious. And of course, this is that character, that great character of Gladys, kind of carried over into this ending. She's very like, I don't know if sarcastic is the right word. Kind of, right?
This plate must not be calibrated to someone of your generous Ness.
Very just like trying to just manipulate you. Extremely manipulative. But this takes us to a new place. And now we start our new section.
But there's no sense crying over every mistake. You just keep on trying till you run out of cake.
It's so good. Okay. Now we've entered a new spot. Our new home base. We've gone from D major to F major. We've gone up by a minor third. This is going to be really important as we move forward, okay? So remember that. We've gone from D major up to F. Now, the key of D major, I think a lot of people would generally accept that this key is, D major is a brighter key than F major. F major tends to be a pretty dark key. Now maybe there's a little bit of like pseudoscience to this or pseudo music theory to this, but certain keys just seem to have darker or brighter qualities to them. You know what I mean? An F or a D flat, those are kind of dark keys versus something like a B or an E or even a D. D a little less so, but those are like brighter keys. So our movement from D as a home base to F as a home base, even though we're going up, it almost sounds a little bit darker, right?
For the good of all of us, except the ones who are dead. But there's no sense crying over every mistake. You just keep on trying till you run out of cake.
Yeah, so there we're kind of just going very simple. F, so this is our new bass. This is our 1 chord, 5 chord, 4 chord, 1 chord. Now the other difference that makes this darker too is that our resolution, we go 1, 5, 4 to 1. That's a darker movement. We're using a plagal cadence there, which just means we're going from 4 to 1 rather than using our maybe more traditional cadence of 5 to 1, right? Now, if we go back to D major, we just did a regular 5-1 cadence there, so it's naturally a much brighter sound. So we're using a brighter key and a brighter resolution, and the second we bring it up to F, now we're using a darker key with a plagal cadence, which is a darker resolution. So yes, we've moved from D to F, which you could say we've moved up a minor third, but I think inherently this whole thing is a little bit darker, which fits. Totally fits. No sense crying over every mistake. All these dead people, just keep trying till you run out of cake.
When the science gets done and you make a neat gun for the people who are still alive.
Oh, it's so good. Okay, all right. Oof. We have this whole chord sequence. Now, we've talked already about 1, 5, 4, 1. We do that 2 times. Then we go 2, 5, 1, 6, 4. Now this is where we would expect a resolution to go 4, 5, 1. Exactly the same way as we did before when we were in D. We would expect 4, 5, 1, but this is where we get to go back to our home key of D, right? So we go. Where do we go now? Not to the 5. We go to the 5 of the original key. Check this out. Woo! Oh, and melodically too, this allows such a great resolution because we go from F to E to F sharp, and it's just it's such a beautiful resolution with those melodies. To get us back to D. How great is that? And it just keeps right on going. I'm not even angry.
I'm being so sincere right now.
Oh man.
Even though you broke my heart and killed me.
These lyrics, it's just so brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And we're telling this story that is getting more and more unnerving because even though we've just defeated Gladys, yet somehow
cake is great, it's so delicious and moist. Look at me still talking when there's science.
Oh boy, look at me still talking. Oh no. Glad I'm not you. Yo. That's like the most brilliant line ever. I have experiments to run, there's research to be done on the people who are still alive. Oh no! And believe me, I am still alive. So all this is making sense now. We're like, uh-oh. Well, I thought I fixed that problem, but evidently not.
Did well. Enough.
And all of a sudden, this harmonic development that we were just talking about as being almost a movement in a darker direction begins to really make sense. This is weirdly happy if you're Gladys. Now, we've got to move on to Portal 2 because Jonathan Coulton wrote another banger. Very different yet similar in a really interesting way, except there's a twist. We're still going to use a minor third, but we're going to do it in a slightly different way. Listen to this. Yo.
Well, here we are again. It's always such a pleasure.
Oh man, this is just, wow, this is just so cool. Okay, so we have this line. Now, that line, you could look at it a number of ways. We don't really have enough information yet to define it harmonically, right? And as the melody comes in, we're gonna start to get more information. So there, we've told ourselves, okay, we're definitely in A major, right? But that doesn't really tell us what that's supposed to be. It doesn't really tell us what that's supposed to be. Listen to that. Come on. Come on, it's so good. Here's what I think. Maybe it's not defined at all. I don't know what the actual intention was here. But if we looked at it like this, here's how you could look at it. And I think this would be so cool because it would just, the melody works so well with it. What if it's A major and then this chord is actually meant to be like a B dominant going up to a D major, flip it minor. Check that out. I think maybe that could be it. That's a way to look at it. I mean, it's just so beautiful.
We laughed and laughed, except I wasn't laughing. Under the circumstances, I've been shockingly nice.
Oh!
You want your freedom, take it.
Oh man, okay, so this is where I think things get really interesting. We are back to using a minor third, the same way we did in Still Alive, but in Want You Gone, there's a different tone. Instead of an ominous, hey, guess what? I'm still here, just so you know. And here, instead, it's like, I'm done with you, please, just go away. You want your freedom? Take it. And listen to what we do harmonically.
Under the circumstances, I've been shockingly nice. You want your freedom, take it.
Ah, yes! Okay, so, we've been in A major, okay? And we go to F sharp major. So we go from A major to F sharp major. Now, the key here is that we're going down a minor third. Now you may remember in Still Alive, we went up a minor third. But what was the effect of going up a minor third? It kind of felt darker, weirdly. Yet for some reason, does this feel like a dark transition to you? Listen again.
Circumstances have been shockingly nice. You want your freedom, take it.
Does that sound dark to you? It doesn't sound very dark to me at all. Now, this could be due to a few things. Maybe the difference between A, I mean, that one's a harder one for me. It's not as clear in terms of like, ooh, which key is darker? I don't know. You probably have different opinions about that. But what I can tell you is that the harmonic sequences that follow are definitely brighter. We started with this thing. Now Now, we said we could name it a couple of different things, but all in all, I don't know that there's necessarily a definitive answer to that question, which means that this whole thing at the beginning is a little bit not the brightest thing in the world, especially considering the fact that we likely end that melody on a minor 4 chord. It's a beautiful, beautiful transition. But we want to talk about a plagal cadence like we talked about in Still Alive, going 4 to 1. This takes it one step further, and now we have a minor plagal cadence where we've made that 4 chord minor before we resolve it to the 1. That's even darker. Now, contrast that to where we go. That's the chord changes in that second part. When we move to F sharp minor, check this out.
Under the circumstances, I've been shockingly nice. You want your freedom.
Check it out. F sharp, G sharp minor, F sharp over A sharp, 4 chord. 2, 3, 4, but then. Oh man, Jonathan Colton has the coolest ways to resolve these chord changes. That is so cool. To get back to the original key, check that out. It's so simple. We take the 4 chord of F sharp minor, which is our new home bass here, 4, 1. And all we did is we made it minor, and it becomes the 2 chord of a 2, 5, 1 to get back to our original home bass of A. It's brilliant. Look at that again really quick. So F sharp, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have our 4 chord in the key of F sharp, right? But if we just take that chord and make it minor, now we're going back to the key of A. In A, B minor is the 2, the 5 chord is E, 1. It's a 2, 5, 1. So simple, and all we did is flip a third from major to minor, and now we can easily change keys. It's so cool. Now at the end of this game, of course, we have actually officially defeated GLaDOS. So much so that I used to want you dead, but now I only want you gone. Just go away. Here we have won the game, and the harmony literally reflects that. We're using the exact same device of a minor third that we did in the first game, yet in the second game, it has a whole different feel to it. Rather than now feeling dark and like something ominous is going on, and GLaDOS is happy about whatever's going on, but we're not. In this game, it's like, hey, we actually did it, and this feels like it's opening up, like it's a new bright future. All through the use of a minor third going the other direction. Anyways, I had to talk about this because these songs are brilliant. They're so good, and they're so simple. Anyways, I put a link to Jonathan Colton's website down in the description below. Go check that out. It's amazing to me that it's almost been 2 decades since Portal came out, but these still go down in history as 2 of the most iconic video game songs to ever exist, if not the most iconic. And they work together absolutely brilliantly. Anyways, that's all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one.